Okay, I think we're ready to start. So, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our webinar on divorce proceedings in the UAE. My name is Christina Holiday. I'm the marketing and legal manager for Hamdan Al Shams Law Firm. And today's webinar will be recorded and may be used on our social media platforms. And for the question and answers, we will leave it till the end. And please, if you may leave all your questions in the chat box, we will read it out and we will be answering towards the end. I have with me Mr. Mohammed Al-Sharkawi, who is our specialist and senior legal consultant for all our family matters. So he will take you through all the proceedings, and he will be able to answer as many questions as you have, hopefully. So I will now hand it over to Mr. Mohammed. Please welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hoping you have a great day today. I am Mohammed Shalqawi, and I will be the presenter for this webinar today. Actually, let me to introduce our law firm first, Hamdan Al-Shamsi Law Firm and legal consultants. We have been working in the market from 2011. We have 13 years now in the market, submitting our services in a major practice area in the UAE, in litigation, corporate, DIFC. And of course, I'm a part of litigation department, so we will start to explain our webinar subject today regarding the divorce. But before starting the webinar, I will give you a brief about myself. I'm specialized in the family law in Hamdan Shamsi for 3 years now, and I have been working as a legal consultant for 15 years in many fields of law, like employment, civil, commercial, and criminal cases. And let's start today regarding our subject related to the divorce in UAE based on Muslims and non-Muslim laws. First of all, we have to define the divorce first, what it is. The divorce based on the Muslim law, based on the Article 104, it's a divorce that terminates the marriage relationship. And based on the Muslim, we have two types of divorce: the minor divorce and the major divorce. The minor divorce means that if the husband divorced his wife, for example, 2 times or less than 3 times, it means he has the right to back his wife again, but it should under condition that she will not marry to anyone. And the major divorce means that he divorced his wife 3 times. It means he cannot back her again without a new marriage for the wife. Then she has to be divorced from the new marriage, then he can back her again. So it's like conditions to save the woman rights. So if he want to back her, he has to sign a new contract, give her the same rights of the first marriage, and everything will be new, like new marriage. But if it's a major, of course, he has to wait some time till a new divorce. Then he has to give her the same rights, new rights again as a new marriage. This is like simple definition of divorce based on the Muslim law. Then we will start to jump to the next issue regarding the applicable law. Actually, the applicable law for the Muslims, it will be the UAE laws initially. The local law will be applied, of course, but if the parties want to apply a foreign law, should be a Muslim also and under Sharia. So they cannot apply, for example, a foreign law for non-Muslim. They can only apply a foreign law for Muslims. And of course, it will be the same because all the marriage relationships or related to marriage or divorce or custody should be under Sharia, and it's not changeable. It's specific in the Holy Quran. So even if you will apply any Muslim country laws, it will be the same, but it should be under some conditions. Like, for example, you have to submit notarized copy from this law to the court, or they will apply the UAE law directly against the parts. And of course, to apply a foreign law, also you have to be like, you have to have only one nationality. Any multiple nationality, the court will apply directly the UAE laws, which it will be the same, only and simple differences regarding the custody, the financial issues like that. This regarding the applicable law for Muslims. Then we will speak about the reasons how to get a divorce from the court. Actually, regarding Muslims, you have to prove to the judge that there, is, there are harms happen to the wife or to the husband, whatever, who will ask for a divorce. And you can prove that by documents, by, for example, emails, WhatsApp, police reports, or you can prove that by witnesses. For example, the wife or the husband can prove that there's a harm from this marriage relationship, and you can ask from the neighbors or from anyone from the family, friends, to give their statements to the judge. And of course, the court will put that in its consideration. If there is no written proofs, or there is no, for example, police reports prove any harm happened to the part who submitted the divorce. This is a way to get a divorce by a court decision or a court judgment. And of course, the procedures it's a little bit complicated, but we will explain it later. And there is another way also to get a divorce based on the Muslim law, which will be the amicable divorce. For example, if the both parts agreed that they want to terminate the marriage relationship, simply they have the right to do that, of course, by amicable divorce. They have to draft a settlement agreement. We want to terminate our marriage relationship. We want to organize all the issues or affections of divorce after getting a decision of divorce. Just draft settlement submitted to the court. The court will issue a decision for amicably divorce, and they will organize all the situation based on the agreement, which should be reflect to the law. You cannot breach the law in your settlement agreement based on the Muslims. So any Muslims have two ways to divorce: by a case, normal case, or by a settlement agreement. And the most important thing regarding the divorce effects, of course, it's the children future, what will happen to the children. And of course, all the mothers, especially mothers, are afraid of the children future and their expenses, the financial support that will be submitted from the husband, what they can do regarding that. Firstly, the custody also issue in the Muslims is it's determined accurately in the law. The mother has the right to for full custody till the sons reach 11 years old and the daughters reach 13 years old. But it's like general conditions, and the evaluation at the end will be for the judge. He will evaluate if the mother has the right to get the custody or not. And if everything is normal, she is okay, she can take care about the children. There is no, for example, criminal judgments against her. There is no issues regarding the treatment with the children. You will give her the custody, and the father has the right after the children and the son reach 11 or the daughter reach 13 to ask for the divorce, for the custody. And also it will be evaluated by the judge based on the current situation at this time. Based on Muslim laws, also the father will be responsible for everything regarding the children expenses and also the mother expenses because she is the one who will take care about the children. The only right for the father during the custody period for the mother will be the visitation rights. He has a right to visit the children, of course, which it will be determined by the court also, like schedule, weekly, monthly, daily, as per the judge evaluation and as per the children needs, of course. Everything should be for the children interest at the end, and the judge will evaluate that. As a lawyers, we are explaining the situations, what is the most uh, يعني, good situation for the children, and the judge will evaluate finally. And regarding the financial issues that the father will bear, of course, it will be firstly the housing allowances, which where they live. He will be responsible for the housing allowances, which is determined in the law. Also, there is a schedule in the personal status law for Muslims based on the monthly income for the father. For example, if he received, for example, 50,000 or 100,000, the judge will give the children and the mother a yearly housing allowance based on his yearly income. It's like levels or stages from 10 to 20, from 20 to 30, like that. And of course, he will be responsible for the education till the children reach the university level. He will responsible for the medical insurance and any relative expenses regarding the houses like DIWA or internet like that. And also the father has the right actually based on the Muslim law to control the education process. So he has the right to choose which school they have to enter based on his financial situation. He can change also the school based on his sole decision, and we are facing يعني, difficulties regarding this right, but anyway everything will be under the judge evaluation at the end. So we can fix also, or we are fixing these issues with the judges, but it takes like some time from us to convince the judge that he is misusing his rights to harm the mother by using the children, which is protected by the Muslim laws also. The only or the main thing or the main responsibility for the mother only to take care about the children, only this responsibility for her. She will receive money from the father to spend for the children, and only her role to take care about the children and يعني, make everything suitable and good for them. Also, there is an important point regarding the financial issues. For example, if we agreed or there is a judgment issued that the father will pay monthly 15,000 or 20,000 or 10, both parties has the right to increase or decrease these alimonies after 1 year from the first judgment. And it, of course, it will be under the judge evaluation and based on the current financial situation. If the father, for example, join a new employer or set up his new company and achieve more profits, the mother has the right to increase her alimonies and her children alimonies. If his situation will be يعني, lowest and there is no enough income to pay what's judged before, he has the right to decrease, and everything will be under the judge evaluation. And of course, they should submit the supportive documents related to this request. So this is like affections of the divorce in brief regarding the custody issue, regarding the financial issues. And for Muslim, it's determined specifically in the law, and no one can breach it. Only judge evaluation based on the documents and the statements that submitted from our side as lawyers. And regarding the procedures, how to file a divorce case for the Muslims, firstly, we have to register a family guidance application. Uh, the law stipulated to file this application to try to solve or to settle the dispute amicably first before sending to the court, because the family disputes it's a sensitive يعني disputes, and the law stipulated to try first to settle amicably before going to the court, because actually it will affect both of them, and no one will settle amicably, or they cannot back again together after filing cases against each others. So the court trying to settle it amicably first. Maybe they will back again to the marriage relationship. This is the main goal to the court, for the children at the end, for the children interest. The court officer will try to solve it amicably and mediate between both parts. If he achieves success, it's good. They will settle. Maybe they will sign settlement agreement and they will continue their life together. If not, he will send the file to the judge, and at this time, the lawyers will interfere by submitting their initial memos, explaining the situation, submitting the supportive documents, and at the end, asking for the request. What you need from your case? Divorce only, or divorce with some financial issues? So this is the procedures. It looks complicated, but actually it's simple for us as a lawyers to do it. It's like two levels: amicable solution, then court directly. And of course, the applicable laws for Muslims. It's we explained it before. Should be Muslims only articles based on local law or based on foreign law. Should be under Sharia. Regarding the non-Muslims, it's totally different, because the legislator here in UAE finds that he has to organize the non-Muslims relationships, because mostly of non-Muslims came from Europe, for example, and from USA, from Australia, and they have different laws and conditions. So they issued a new law on February 2022 to organize and control the situation for the family disputes for non-Muslims. And this law number 41 of 2022, it's only new law, and we get some final decision based on this law in the past 2 years, but till now there is no complete judgments, or the judgment till now didn't cover all the disputes, because they have to back to the Muslim law if there is no articles control the dispute in the non-Muslim law. So some of cases applying the non-Muslim laws, but they are using the Muslim articles, which is not stipulated in the non-Muslim law. And the most important thing in the non-Muslim law regarding the assets, actually in the common law, for example, or in all Europe laws, there is a share in the assets, 50-50 or 40-60, as per their sharing from the beginning. But in UAE, they canceled this option. You cannot share any assets with the other party. Everyone will keep his property, and his assets or his financial situation will be separately from the other party, and no one can ask to share it. But you can ask for example, alimonies for expenses you spent during the marriage, like that. But assets, bank accounts, it's not allowed to share it with other party. Also, regarding getting a divorce based on the non-Muslim law, it's very simple actually. It's totally different, related or compared to the Muslim, because you have no obligations to provide any reasons for the judge to ask for a divorce. There is no need to blame the other party or to submit proofs that he is, for example, harmed you, or or doing something against you or against the children, for example. Just simple application by a case, of course. File your case, put your statements, asking to apply the non-Muslim law. Then they will give you a divorce on the first hearing without any reasons. But it's totally different if you will file your case with another request, like financial request or custody, or any contribution during the marriage relationship. In this situation, it will be different. You have to file the same request to mediate and to solve the dispute amicably first. And actually, the law stipulated and mentioned that everything will be equal between the wife and the husband, and of course, the custody will be shared, the financial expenses will be shared. Everything will be like 50-50 or 60-40 as per the judge evaluation, and the judge will evaluate based on the financial situation for each party. And they can appoint expert to prove that, or they will issue his decision based on bank statements, salary certificates, invoices, for example, who is paying, who paid, who will pay, like that. So it's like yeah, 90 percentage as per the judge evaluation. And of course, the main issues after divorce for the mother, especially the custody. So the custody, based on the Muslim law, it's shared 50-50, but also under conditions. It's not a general sharing, it's under conditions. For example, if the child is still so young, 1 year, 2 years, it will be for the mother. Till reaching 5 or 6 years, then it will be shared. And the judge will evaluate the situation, of course. But the most important thing also, which is different than the Muslims, that the child has a role in the custody dispute. But after reaching 18 years old, at this age, the child has the right to choose with whom he can live or who want to live. And of course, it's not mentioned in the Muslims, and it's fair that the child has the right to choose with whom he will live. But at the end, it should be a law to organize the situation till reaching this level. And also, there is a practical like point, for example, regarding the custody. If anyone success to take the custody under any reasons, the authorities cannot oblige the child to live with any party from them. He has to accept at the end, whatever he reached 18 or not. If the child, for example, insists to live with the father cannot take the child, even if he has a judgment. They should like make like sessions first to discuss the matter with the child and to convince him first that he has to transfer his life with the father or with the mother, whatever the judgment said. And of course, it's fair also because we cannot take a child from a home to another home directly without any introduction or explanation to him. And at the end, the law is searching for the child interest only. The judge will not put his in consideration any situation regarding related to the mother or the father, only the child interest. So at the end, or in brief, the divorce based on the Muslim non-Muslims law, its only application, the custody will be shared, the financial responsibilities will be shared, and each one can also change the judgment by decreasing the financial alimonies or increasing it based on the current financial situation or the development that will happen in the financial situation for both parties, not only for the father like the Muslim law. Then we will start to explain what is the affections of the divorce or the rights for both parts regarding the divorce. First of all, of course, majority of mothers they are not working. So, based on the non-Muslims, she should share and pay some part from the alimony or the financial expenses for the children. But at the end, the father will be responsible for the majority of these expenses. And also, the non-Muslim laws give the wife a right to ask for a compensation from the husband if he divorced her, for example, without reasons, because he has the right to divorce her without reason, but at the end, she still has the right has the right to asking for a compensation based on this divorce because it's not without her consent, and she has the right to back each dirham she spent for the family. And of course, we get more judgments like that before. It's not a complicated situation or hard to prove it. Everything based on the client at the end documents, but the judge will take her side at the end because she is not obligated to work and gaining money to spend to the children. At the end, the father has to do that, even it's under the non-Muslim laws, but they will apply the Muslim laws in any articles not stipulated in this law, and more of situations is not stipulated and under the non-Muslim laws till now. It's only new law for 2 years, so I believe they will amend it in the future and add more articles to control or to organize the full situation. And the judge will evaluate this compensation based on the period of marriage, who caused the divorce, who did or harms the others. For example, if the husband harms the wife for 3 4 years and she feels that and she continued continued living with him to save the children from a divorced relationship, then the judge will compensate her based on these situations. How many years they married, who caused the divorce, of course, at the end, the financial situation, and how much the husband contribute in the divorce situation. Actually, regarding the custody, it will be shared. The children alimonies or the children expenses will be shared based on the financial situations. But practically, the judges will evaluate that based on the monthly income for both of them. If there is no income for the mother, the judge will ask from the father to pay them يعني, the high percentage, for example, 90 percentage. Then she will pay only 10, for example. Finally, the most important differences between the Muslim and non-Muslim is the custody issue and also the financial rights for both parts. Because based on the non-Muslim, the mother will bear some responsibilities more than the Muslim law. But at the end, they have the right to apply the Muslim law if they want. But we will explain that in the next point regarding the applicable laws. And before the applicable laws, we will explain the procedures to file a divorce. It's the same for Muslims, but it's different only if you will ask only for a divorce without any custody issues or financial issues. If it's only a divorce, you will submit to the court directly without any mediation or family guidance to solve the dispute amicably first. The judge will give you the divorce in the first hearing without any discussion, any investigation. It's like application, but by a case. If you will ask for custody or financial alimonies or anything outside or more than the divorce, you should submit the application like the Muslims regulations, and you have to attend the hearing before the family guidance committee to mediate and solve the problem first. If you can reach amicable solution, you can do that inside the court or outside. If it's inside, we shall draft a settlement agreement, organize everything, all the points, all the dispute points or the financial issues submit to the court. They will notarize and they will give you like a formal copy from this agreement, and you can execute it by a judge in the future if anyone breach this settlement agreement. Or you can file your case asking for a divorce, custody, financial issues, because even it's shared, but still both parties have the right to ask from the judge based on the situation for the full custody, for example, full financial responsibilities, from the father, for example. So still you have the right to ask based on the Muslims, but the judge will apply at the end the non-Muslim, but he has the right to use the Muslim article till now. And as I said a few minutes, I believe that they will change or they will add some articles in the future to organize more points related to the non-Muslims situations and religions, of course. Then we will speak about the applicable law. And regarding the applicable law for non-Muslims, there are three options. The first option to apply the non-Muslim law, UAE non-Muslim laws. Second option, you have the right to apply the Muslim laws, but should be يعني, acceptable by both parts. Or third option, you have the right to apply a foreign law, which is your country law, for example, or any foreign law you agreed to apply it. For example, if the wife and you want to apply the UK law, the husband want to apply the UAE laws, whatever it's a Muslim or non-Muslim, the judge will issue his final decision related regarding the applicable law, but based on some conditions. For example, if you want to apply the foreign law, you have to submit a copy, a notarized copy from the foreign law from your country to make the judge able to review and issue his decision based on your law. And you should only have one nationality. If you have multiple nationalities, the judge will not apply the foreign law. Unfortunately, he will apply the UAE laws, whatever it's a Muslim or non-Muslims, as per your wish. At the end, he will apply non-Muslims, of course, or he will apply Muslim based on your requests. But both parties has to accept, as we said. And if the judge apply, for example, the foreign law, everything will be based on these yeah, the foreign law articles. He cannot mix between the local laws and the foreign laws. He will apply only the foreign law. Whatever it's mentioned or it's against Sharia or against non-Muslim laws here, he will apply it without any authority to reject what's in this law because it's a foreign. So he cannot interfere to mix between two laws or three laws. He will apply it definitely, and any decision will be issued based on the foreign law. You can apply it in your country. Of course, it's under some conditions and some notarization processes, but at the end, you can apply it. For example, in UK, there is an agreement between UK and UAE to apply the judgments. So at the end, it will be like a judgment in UAE, and you can use it outside. Also related to Arab countries, especially, we can execute any judgments here in UAE in any Arab countries. It's like international agreement between all the Arab countries to execute the judgments in all the countries, but you have to choose one. You cannot يعني, execute your judgment twice, only one in one country. And the last thing regarding our webinar, actually, it's rights for the children based on the non-Muslim. I need to confirm about that because it's a very important issue, of course, for non-Muslims. The rights for the child is still saved on the based on the non-Muslim, but it will be shared. And if nothing in the non-Muslim law will assist the children to live a comfortable life or easy life, they will use the Muslims. So this is for the non-Muslims to be like comfortable with the non-Muslim laws, whatever it is. There is no more articles to organize it, but still we can use the Muslims and foreign laws. And at the end, thank you for your time, and I hope that everything is clear for you. And now we are open for any questions from the attendees if you have.
Thank you, Mohammed. I think there were a few joinees that came a little bit late. So I did say that if there is any questions, please put it in the chat. But I think we can open, accordingly. Whoever wishes to have a question, I'm happy to open, and then yeah, they can ask directly. But just please raise your hand in the webinar section. There is a button where you can raise your hand, so we will know who would like to ask any questions. But if you don't feel comfortable, then yes, I can see Odin has raised her hand. But if you do not feel comfortable, you find all our details at the bottom of this slide. So please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be able to assist further. So just a moment, I will open Allow to talk. Please, Odin, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, thank you so much for the lovely seminar. It was very informative. I just have a question regarding, not to take everybody's time here, but I just have a question. If one has a not to has a child in the UAE, and let's say the mother decides to keep the child, um, is it can one say that is one obliged to be married to this uh, woman, or is it how are the proceedings for that regarding this thing, or is that a different scenario, completely different scenario?
Sorry, Mr. Odin, I didn't get your point. And you're asking for if there is a child outside the marriage relationship.
Yes, if there's a child outside the marriage,
Yeah, understood.
you know what? Yes, if this, I will yes, you know what? I'll discuss with with you privately instead of, and then we can discuss privately about this instead of. That's the best idea,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, but I will answer you regarding this point because it's a very, and it's a good question actually, because it's related to a criminal and family laws. For example, before it's a criminal issue or a criminal case in UAE, but now it's cancelled by the new criminal code, and there is no crime if there is a child outside the marriage certificate. And of course, the authorities will issue all the required documents to prove the father and the mother, and they will issue a birth certificate for the child, but it should be through a governmental hospital. And both parts, the father and the mother, has to attend and confirm that they are, and the father and the mother, you have to confess before the authorities, and they will issue all the required documents. Then you can issue, for example, a marriage certificate in the future or not, as per your wish. It's not a criminal issue now in UAE, but actually, practically, it will affect the rights that will be يعني, granted to both parts in the future. If there is no marriage certificate, you will face a problems in the future if any disputes arising between both parts, because you have to prove the marriage first before the court and they get a decision related to that, then asking for your rights. So it will make the situation more complicated in the future if there is any disputes. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it will happen, the client will face some issues first to get his rights. He has to prove the marriage first, then asking for the rights.
Okay. And a final question, if one has a relationship, if a non-Muslim in the UAE has a relationship with a Muslim or a non-Muslim, more of a, let's say, a relationship over an X amount of years, 4 to 5 years, is there in any way, shape, or form this indication that one has been together in a type of marriage, or is it just more of a casual social hanging that'll be described as that?
Actually, Mr. Odin, we have to know firstly that there is no marriage for Muslims with non-Muslims for the woman. And
Okay.
no woman can marry a non-Muslim man, for example. But on the other hand, a Muslim man can marry a non-Muslim woman, and she will have the same rights. But for example, if there is a relationship between a non-Muslim man with a Muslim woman, the judge will not accept to prove a marriage, and it's a legal relationship based on the Muslim law, and they will not apply the non-Muslim law in this situation if any party is Muslim. So it's not allowed to have a relationship, for example, with a Muslim woman, and any children based on this relationship, they will give them the right for the children rights, but they will terminate the marriage. The court will not accept this relationship, and they will not issue a marriage certificate. And if there is no children, of course, it's still illegal based on the Muslims, but non-Muslims, I believe it's not يعني, a problem, or it's not a big issue. You can have a relationship outside the marriage. But regarding the Muslims, it's very complicated, and you will not reach a positive results at the end if any disputes happen.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much.
Is there anyone else who would like to ask a question? This is your time to please ask. I can see somebody, Nama. Please, Nama.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi, thank you very much. I just wanted to ask a question about children of non-Muslims and whether or not once custody is granted to a mother, for example, she can apply to remove the children from the jurisdiction to return them to their home jurisdiction, for example.
Hello, Ms. Nama, how are you?
Hello, thank you.
Your question regarding shifting to another country or to back to the home country with the children?
Yes.
Actually, this point, it's a very important point because it's not stipulated in the non-Muslim laws, but it's related to the travel ban issue. Actually, till now, the non-Muslim law, depending on the Muslims articles in this situation. If you want to shift or transfer your country or to your home, to back you to your home country again or to another country, the father has to accept first. And يعني written approval. And he has the right to put a travel ban against the children. And also the mother has the right to put a travel ban against the children to avoid transferring the country without approval from the other party. So if it's not amicably, it will not be allowed, and the judge will put a travel ban against the children till amicable solution between both parties. So if you want to travel with your children, which they are under your custody, you have to agree first with your or with the father, then you can. But without his approval, of course, يعني from our يعني, practice, he will put a travel ban and you cannot travel. Is it clear?
Yes, thank you very much. That's very helpful.
You are welcome.
Thank you. Is there anybody else to ask a question? Because then we will conclude and then finish the webinar. No? Okay, well, thank you so much, Mohammed, for your time, and thank you everyone for your time as well. I hope you found today's session useful and practical. And as I said, please feel free to reach out to us if you would like to get some further information, or you have a dispute, or you just have a question. We're here to help. Yeah, thank you very much again. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.